What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
What's up, guys?
Producer Josh.
Ryan, what were you doing with your hands? Were you Vanna Whiting?
I was showing off the new wall space.
And Ryan Bass.
Hi.
Yeah, I full named you. That's right.
Is there a reason?
I used the government.
Is it? You want my middle name too?
No.
Yeah,
No.
can you give us your social too?
Social, mother's maiden name,
what
and,
is
and
your,
my password.
Yeah, what is your bank account login?
Yeah, no, I got you.
And as Ryan is referencing, we finally have stuff hung on the walls. Shout out to the company that came in and did that. We really appreciate it.
Can they do my apartment too? I got a lot of holes in my walls right now. I need some help.
Well, and there's a lot of different stuff up here, so you guys can't see everything that's on the walls, but we got some Dallas Cowboys memorabilia over here. We got the good old Larry Bird, Magic Johnson photo. Like, all this stuff is signed, too.
This is good stuff.
So,
I think that's
hey, my canvas
finals.
came in.
Yeah.
There's a canvas over here I got for you.
got a
Merry Christmas.
little military recognition over here. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Let's kick things off with, obviously, what happened in the poll last week.
Your chocolate glazed Krispy Kreme is the winner.
Is it? Did we determine that that's the right way to say it?
I believe that is correct.
Krispy Kreme chocolate glazed donut?
Chocolate glazed donut.
Is it iced glazed?
Or iced glazed.
Okay.
Shoot, I already
See,
screwed it up.
again,
I already screwed it up. Doesn't matter.
We know what it is.
We saw the
know what
photo.
it is. Yeah, evidently a lot of people other than me like that donut. I mean, it's pretty classic.
Still too sweet.
What makes it too sweet?
It's
You don't like
glazed and chocolate frosting? That's a lot of sweetness.
Instead of glazed and sprinkled like the Simpsons
No,
one.
I think you guys are missing what I'm saying. The glaze, that white glaze that's over the entire donut on top of the chocolate frosting. Then there's a plain, fluffy donut with no glaze and just frosting.
I mean, I personally that's why you don't need a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. But that's
I don't nut if we're going to get the answer to this.
I'm already going to mute him.
oh God. Oh.
That was
Yeah.
your one. You get one.
Yep. All right, let's kick this off. We were just talking about it a little bit, so let's kick it off with the movie. Movies.
Got it.
Josh, you all right?
That's a good catch.
Yep.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm
That's,
good.
that
For
could've
those
been bad.
that didn't see that, Josh caught his phone as it slipped off the table.
Quick hands. I like we were arguing the healthiest of the donuts.
It wasn't about being healthy. It was just too sweet when you have a glaze and frosting. I just like the donut that's fried itself with the frosting. That's it.
Do you like a deep fried donut like at the
They're all
Texas State
fried.
Fair?
Right back to it. Just right back to it. Morbius, PG-13, 2022, action adventure, hour and 44 minutes. 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah, and only 73% of Google users like this movie. So that's why Josh didn't get to see this one this week.
No, I was working all
Neither
weekend.
did I.
Oh, well, me and Ryan saw it.
And it wasn't very good.
Well,
Wow.
all right, we're just gonna kick it off right there.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
All right, so let me get a couple things out of the way. First of all, I will do our read. Or do you want to?
No.
Do you want to shout at this?
No.
Okay.
No.
Dangerously,
I'll see how you do.
dangerously ill with a rare blood disorder and determined to save others from the same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a radical success, a darkness inside of him is soon unleashed. Yeah.
So how is this bad? Because I saw the trailers and I was like, I feel like I'm in on this.
Okay. Ryan, go ahead, because I want to know what your thoughts are, and then I'll tell you guys what I think.
I thought that not only did it drag, I don't know if the characters and acting was right in this. Like, I feel like Jared Harris didn't really know
Who?
Jared Harris. I said, get the main actor.
Leto?
Leto. Thank you. Leto.
You just said Jared Leto
Yeah, I
before
know.
this
Or Jared got
podcast.
started.
Jared Harris didn't do very well either, I don't
Yes.
think.
No,
That's
didn't.
why he's not acting anymore.
I thought Leto is weird, strange, interesting for this role, and maybe I don't know. It dragged for me. I didn't think it was very good. I thought it was the worst of the Marvel movies, of any of them that I've seen. This, by the way, was delayed, I think, 2 years almost, right? 2 years this was delayed?
Well, and look, we've talked ad nauseum about a lot of stuff being delayed. Death on the Nile for a couple different reasons because of studio changes and also one of the actors being in trouble. Things just, the main studio didn't want to release them if they were trying to tie it into a pre-existing franchise, which this definitely runs into. For those of you guys that didn't watch the movie or you don't know much about this, it's the Spider-Man universe. So it is the multiverse. It is Marvel. Even though it's a Sony-owned property, it's, yeah, all that blends together. But
I just feel like it took itself way too seriously in this movie, which I don't think is the premise of Morbius. It was by far, to me, the least interesting of any of the Marvel movies that I've seen.
You mean it's not, Morbius isn't serious? What?
It took itself too seriously, if that makes any sense.
It's a dark movie.
Do you get where I'm going here, Chris?
I feel like it tried to walk a line, and I feel like it should have picked. Does that make sense?
It does.
Was this Leto overacting? Like, was he trying to make
No, but like his quips that he does are like sort of funny, but not really funny. Like, okay.
Like it didn't pick whether it wanted to be funny or if it wanted to just be dark.
That's where I think the line is, right?
And so and Venom does that, right? So there are those moments in Venom, but there's like kind of a back and forth between characters in Venom, even though it's the same one character with Tom Hardy being able to kind of play off of his symbiote. And I don't know, going into this, I grew up watching this cartoon when I not only reading the comic books, but this one in particular, there were like 2 morning cartoons that I would watch that would be comic book based, and it was the X-Men cartoon, which was fantastic, and the Spider-Man cartoon, which you can argue maybe not drawn as well, but also fantastic. And so Morbius was a character that was on the show. I knew a lot about, kind of who that character was going into this movie. I also was really disappointed because I think you have actors like Jared Leto and Matt Smith, who I love, and Jared Harris, which is why you got confused.
I did. Too many Jareds.
And I really wanted it to be good. And it's okay.
17% is pretty low on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let me put it this way.
Again, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter.
Yeah. When it's that low.
Is that not one of the lowest of the Marvels?
It might be. I mean, I know they didn't like...
They didn't like Venom 2.
They didn't like Carnage, yeah. They didn't like that one, which I thought that was a better movie than this movie.
That's what I was about to ask.
I did too, yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to knock this movie because, trust me, if you go look up the reviews and like people, even like people that aren't like professional, reviewers that tie into stuff like Rotten Tomatoes and other stuff like that, they did not like this movie.
Do you feel like he would have been a great character as a bad guy or ancillary character for a Spider-Man movie? Like if you gave just a little bit of...
Not the protagonist?
Not the whole movie based around him, but just he was like a chunk of the little bit of backstory for him, and then he was a character in the different sort of plot. Do you think that would work better for you guys?
Maybe, but I get they're trying to do universe building for Spider-Man. They're trying to get a Sinister Six movie, right?
Right.
I do agree with you on that, though. I do think that he was a secondary role instead of the primary. It might have been a little bit better. Might have landed a little bit better for me.
I mean, would you have done it the other way around with Matt Smith and him swapping parts?
Ooh, that would have been a different movie.
Okay, did they lead up to where there would be another movie of this?
Yes, or at least that he will be a continued character thematically moving forward. Which, again, that you can hit the spoiler button if you want. Time for some spoilers. The director kind of got yelled at a little bit because if you look at the cast listing, Michael Keaton is listed second. He's not really in the movie. So then, like, the director came out and described basically that was the end credit scene and just gave away what the end credit scene is, which.
So you're telling me Michael Keaton is the one character in the end credit scene?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not in the whole other movie?
Nope. He is not in the movie anywhere but in the closing credits. There's 2 of them, 2 closing credit scenes.
That lead to another movie or to the continuance of this franchise?
Well, we're not sure. But it's basically, it shows Michael Morbius meeting Michael Keaton's character from the Spider-Man universe, which is the Vulture. So they're trying to do a Sinister Six movie. I know where they're going.
100%.
The Ringer put together like a good list of like 42 questions I have after watching this movie, and there's a few of them that I find very comical. Number 1 is, according to National Geographic, a colony of 100 vampire bats can drink the blood of 25 cows in a year. That's a lot of blood. But more importantly, that's a lot of cow blood. No offense to the cattle of the world, but can we just get Morbius a few cows to feed on and call it a day? That was 1.
What?
Number 2.
That makes more sense if you've seen the movie.
Number 2, did anyone get Pokemon vibes from Morbius? Because I, for one, did not, and I had no idea what director Daniel Espinosa is talking about when he says that it served as an inspiration for this film. I got 0 Pokemon vibes from this film.
I did not hear that quote anywhere. What in
That's
the hell?
weird. Because there's a 0 correlation between Pokemon and Morbius. Like
I got nothing on that one.
The hell?
I don't know about that one.
I like my final one here. Why didn't anyone question how Morbius, a world-renowned scientist who just turned down a Nobel Prize because he's that cool, was suddenly able to walk around without any crutches and also probably bench press a car?
Science.
Magic. No.
Also, wait, when did Tyrese get here? That's a funny question.
I don't know. I do think this is in that bottom rung of movies.
Did you like it better than Eternals?
No.
Oof.
Yeah, I thought Eternals was better than this.
Oof. Did you like it better than 10 Rings?
Yes. I haven't seen that one.
I feel like 10 Rings is like our Mac and Me.
This is gonna be this is gonna run forever. Who is it that is it Fallon that always says he's not gonna interview
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that whole thing.
For the record, by the way, Morbius received the 2nd lowest cinema score for any Marvel adaptation.
What was the worst? What was the lowest?
Well, I looked at the headlines, so that requires me to read in here and actually see what received worst. And it seems there is one here. The only film based on a Marvel character to receive a lower cinema score was Josh Trank's much maligned Fantastic Four, which received a C-.
Oh no, that does not even count. We're not even counting that in the universe.
That's the only one to receive a lower score, though.
In order to continue in the cinematic universe, even though this movie may not have been up to par, do we have to watch it? That's the main question.
All right. Basically, I can tell you this right now. Morbius exists in the comic book universe. Basically, to cure himself, he accidentally turns himself into a vampire. And he has like speed, strength, echolocation, flight. And that's it. There you go. Now you know everything you need to know about that character if you go watch another Spider-Man movie and he's involved. That's literally all you have to know.
So you don't have to see this movie?
No.
Okay.
Theoretically, do we think he's going to show up in the Blade stuff as well?
Oh.
Since
was it rumored that he was supposed to?
Well, there's been talk because vampires and Blade is a vampire hunter that there would be some Mahershala Ali, Jared Leto.
Well, maybe. I mean, I could see that.
Just a natural because of association from vampire to vampire, basically?
Well, right, in the comic book universe and all that stuff that goes along with that. I possibly. But I would rather that franchise, since they're rebooting it, kind of stand on its own at the beginning. Now, who's to say that doesn't play into that? But I don't know about that.
I'm still going to go see it, despite this glowing review.
Would love to know.
Yeah, I was going to say we're really, really setting you guys up if you didn't go see it.
Do you think
week.
if Wesley Snipes played Morbius that it would have been better?
That would have been confusing.
Yeah, that would have been really confusing.
Just throwing that out there. A little role reversal.
I will tell you, Moon Knight has come out, the first episode on Disney Plus. It is excellent.
I have to wait till they release more episodes. I can't keep waiting. That's not how.
You
that's,
want to binge watch it?
Yeah, that's not how streaming apps work.
That's how it was 10 years ago.
That's how
Disney
television
Plus,
works.
I get it. If I am paying for a subscription, I am not going to wait for more episodes.
Come on, you remember the days back where you were like on the edge of your
Okay,
seat and
but
you're like,
we
cannot
didn't-
wait for next week.
Yeah, that's different now, okay? Things are different. We don't do that anymore. This is Disney Plus. I get what they're trying to do, but there's also only, 8 episodes? It's not like it's a full season.
They want to keep you coming back to the app every week and then also watching
So they
other
don't
things.
believe in their app, is what you're telling me.
No, they do. They just want to force your traffic every week instead of just for 4 hours or 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I'll binge watch one show on Netflix and they'll keep my traffic every week.
They've got that algorithm working well.
They do.
So-
Know what you like to watch.
So I just have to wait.
Big shout out in the world of movie news. Bruce Willis stepping away from acting because he's got aphasia symptoms.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. I really, we all know my running thing every year about Die Hard, and I love Bruce Willis. So that also means we'll have to have some sort of reboot if we're ever going to see another
John
version
McClane.
another version of Red.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved those movies, but
Well, and kudos to the people that were trying to give him an award for the worst movies. And of this past year, they were
I
trying to
saw
give him an
that.
award, and they're like, we completely retract what we were doing. We had no idea that this may have been why that these movies came out the way they did. So they're like, never mind. This is not on you. I was like, well, at least they did that.
And some of those that have worked with him have said that they saw some of that cognitive decline on set previously in the past. Obviously, we wish him well health-wise. So, I mean, he is, to me, one of the most recognizable actors in terms of some of the roles that he plays. So it'll be sad to see him distant from the movie scene for a little bit, hopefully just for a little bit.
well wishes to him, his family, his friends, everything. And what are we going to do this week?
Anything coming out? Sonic 2?
Oh,
right,
that
so-
looks terrible.
I never saw
That
Sonic
looks
1.
terrible.
Timeout. Is that this weekend or is pre-sale this weekend?
I think pre-sale.
And also, can we not just have like a simple, easy internet search that shows me what's about to drop for movies? Because if you've ever tried to search that in real time, it pops up everything that's playing, everything that's coming out in like the next 2 years. It's like, I just want to know what's coming out this weekend. That's it.
Why don't we do a
Just want it in one place.
Why don't we do an old school Bruce Willis movie? Sixth Sense?
Unbreakable.
I don't know. That might be.
What was that new movie that came out on Netflix recently that I was trying to watch? God dang it.
Tinder Swindler?
There is a new Fantastic Beast movie, but I've also not.
The Adam Project? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. The
You
Adam
want to do that?
Project.
You want to do the
'Cause
Adam Project?
That's Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm cool with that. If you want to do that one.
Yep.
I like Ryan Muntz. We should do more Ryan Muntz movies.
Jesus. All right. The Adam Project. That is the movie. It is on Netflix. So go watch that and get your Ryan Reynolds fix on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to sports.
I was looking at it on my
all
phone.
this time.
I was looking at my phone and I was like, nah, I was not ready for that. We never start with movies. There's a flow to this, and my brain just did not hang in there.
You could also just label them.
Never.
But, yeah. So
To be honest, that was only like a 2-second delay. I would have expected a little longer. So
Still looking at my phone.
it's okay. It's
sorry.
okay. So it is set. Your final, it's tonight, right?
it is tonight.
North
Technically, if
Carolina.
you're listening to this with Monday, it is tonight.
Yes. So we will discuss this game on the next podcast. But North Carolina versus Kansas, and my 8 seed pick is still in there, man. It's still there. We may actually, my prediction may come true.
Before we get there, can we just recap what was arguably the greatest college basketball game I've ever seen in UNC and Duke, which, given all of the storylines leading up to it, not only lived up to the hype, it exceeded the hype. It was an unbelievable and a remarkable college basketball game that will live on in infamy in the sport. It was incredible.
Well, it was going to do that anyway, just because this is the first meeting of North Carolina and Duke in the tournament, and because, Coach K is retiring no matter what happens this year, so the fact that they got to another Final Four and it gave him the lead for, I think now he holds every record solely.
He does.
Yep.
But that win, by the way, for UNC ties it at 50-50 for the series in terms of under Coach K, which is pretty incredible. Awesome. His first loss to UNC, December 5th, 1980. His last loss, April 2nd, 2022. Just unbelievable. And it was, you could feel the moment. And I actually think, and I want to commend the broadcast team for what they did, because they not only did they allow the celebration for UNC, but they truly encapsulated the moment. They did. They encapsulated the moment of what was the final moments of Coach K's career. And I thought they did an excellent job with it. Tracy Wolfson's interview with Coach K was great.
I find it funny that you immediately went to the broadcasting.
Great
job with the broadcasting.
They did a great job.
You're like Jeff Van Gundy when
they
he
won the moment.
He praises coaches.
They won the moment. They won the moment there.
I will say, I thought it was kind of funny because Coach K in the interview afterwards, they were talking about the game and they were talking about what they had done, and they go, well, what do you think about this as a way to wrap up your career? And he goes, it's not time to talk about my career. He kind of
always shove it aside.
Shut the question down, and I'm like,
it kind of is. It kind of is.
You did the farewell tour all year. Of course, that's going to be a question.
I do love the one nugget here, because there were so many around this game. But Caleb Love, who hit one of the greatest shots I've seen in a rivalry game, in that three there at the end of the 2 missed free throws, he dreamed of going to Duke. Dreamed of it. Never got a scholarship offer from Coach K, and hits the biggest shot in that game to do in Coach K's career and cap off what was an incredible nearly 5 decades.
To do in Coach K's career.
He did in Coach K.
Oh my God! All right,
but did he? It was like a big win. It was a fight to the end.
So here's the other thing.
He didn't do him in.
Too.
He did him in all right. 28 points in that game. Did him in.
Was it an and one?
Oh, that
on
shot?
That foul? No. On the foul on Duke. Was it an and one? Because that changes.
It didn't look like it from the replay.
The end of the game.
It didn't look like it from the replay.
A lot of Duke fans think it was.
If those 2 free throws go down, it's a different game. You're not looking at a 4-point swing there.
If those free throws go in, then Caleb Love doesn't do him in. You know what I mean?
It's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Sports, man.
I don't know. I didn't get to watch much of the game. I just kept looking at the score, and that was about it. But
you missed what was 18 lead changes, I think, in the college.
It was a really good game.
Unbelievable.
It's very back and forth. Kansas, meanwhile, has had no problem just running through this tournament.
I think Bill Self is mad at you. He is using that as motivation. He heard your words.
That's a freezing cold take now.
Oof.
Do we? I'm still, just because it's an 8 seed, gonna be North Carolina as my pick.
I also am rolling with UNC.
All right,
let's go.
All right.
Just because of certain reasons, screw it, UNC. I'm going with Kansas.
Ryan?
I'm going to go with the Jayhawks. They have quietly been the best team in this tournament, and they've been great defensively. They've been great offensively. Bill Self has a really good basketball team. UNC's been good. They've been heating up at the right time, but I got Kansas winning it all.
What are you talking about? What do you mean circumstances?
Eric Church. Screw you.
Whoa.
What is he going to do? Not come on the podcast?
Whoa.
I mean, not now.
Probably not now, yeah.
Oh, I don't want him on the podcast.
Whoa.
I know this is a little harsh, but for all you fans, but that was rude. Coming from someone who works in the service industry, that was rude.
He did attend a pretty good game, though, so.
Ryan.
That makes up for the thousands of people that are out of money.
The thoughts and feelings of Haley McInnes do not necessarily reflect those of the quad and shall be taken for what they are.
I mean,
Thank you.
I thought it was a weird move.
It's not a great move.
I get it.
Are we talking about that here in the sports section now?
I mean, it's a sports thing as well as a music thing.
Now, to provide the full context, just for those that aren't aware and maybe haven't seen it, Eric Church did cancel his show that was scheduled to be in San Antonio on April 2nd. Didn't send out anything on his social media pages. It was through Ticketmaster saying canceling the show to go to the UNC Duke game.
What,
saying
4
that
days before?
Saying that it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him and his family to go to that game. He's a longtime Carolina fan. For those of you that follow his career, he loves UNC, and so he wanted to go to that game. And so he canceled his show. I don't think it's a stretch to say that the reaction to that was visceral. There was
a lot of unhappy people.
There was a lot of
on the
unhappy
internet.
people, a lot of negative PR around it. Now, he did schedule a show in San Antonio. Anyone that bought tickets to that show, it is now being honored for that show. So there is going to be
It's a fight to the death, though.
There's
There's
going to be a
only
new show.
5,500 tickets that are available in that arena versus the 20,000 he sold.
It's not apples to apples, but I'm providing all of the context for those that are listening here. And we've had many discussions about this as a group in the last 4 or 5 days. And I just don't think anything after that initial choice by him makes up for the fact that he canceled that show with a week's notice. Now, you were explaining to me, too, CY, there's a difference between canceling and postponing. If you postpone, people can't really get their money back for those tickets, correct? But if you cancel it, they are able to and eligible to get a refund for those tickets.
Yeah, and
so that's the difference.
After the past couple years of all of the craziness with shows not being able to go off, I think I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do in that situation if you're going to that game is, because you got to cancel your show.
Can I present you with this? If the Cowboys were playing in the Super Bowl,
I would never book a show on the Super Bowl.
okay, then you wouldn't be in that scenario.
Yeah.
Well, that's the smart thing. If you have a team that this isn't the first time they have made it all the way, then maybe don't book a show in March Madness. I was really hoping he had a show that he might want to try and cancel just to throw more at the fact of what's going on.
Because now they're in the final. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, this isn't just about his ticket holders. This goes way deeper. It wasn't 7 days prior to him canceling a show. And this isn't an emergency, a weather-related event, COVID-related. This is none of that. And he tried to hide it at first, again, by not posting it publicly, but just through the ticket holders. This is him canceling it because he wants to go watch a basketball game to a school he didn't even attend, first of all. I get it. You could be a really big fan of whatever it is. And for everyone claiming, don't act like you've never called out of work before. This is completely different. Thousands of people are relying on you, not just the people who bought the tickets, but the employees of the arena, the employees of the surrounding businesses, aka bars that have already scheduled their staff to accommodate the after or before. This was like a snowball effect of a lot of people that are out of whatever they want, or not whatever they want, but whatever they had scheduled for, money relating to that, staffing, because you wanted to go watch a game and you canceled literally not even 7 days before. The whole situation's screwed up. I would be really angry, not only if I was a ticket holder, but if now the show that I get to go to that is free, I might not be able to go because there's only 5,500 capacity limit at this arena in the middle of September in Texas and 110-degree weather's outside. When let's say I paid for front row seats at this amphitheater.
Well,
110 degrees? That's hot.
not in September, most likely. Anyway,
90s.
But regardless, you get what I'm saying. Like, if I paid extra for front row seats and now I get to attend a free concert, maybe if I get in there in time before the 20,000 people show up.
well, let me
say-
put it this way: at least they won.
There is that. And I will say, Bear, I don't think you're alone in your feelings. But
I didn't buy tickets to the show. It doesn't affect me. It
no,
affects
I get that. I
my
think
thoughts.
your take is you're not on a mountain, in a hill by yourself here. So I think a lot of people do share that same sentiment. But it will be interesting to see what the reaction will be moving forward for Eric Church, and if there will be any more fallout from this. But
Probably not.
To the church choir, they are very loyal to Eric Church, so I'm sure that he will make it up to them at some point.
Yeah. All right. Did you actually make a pick before we got off on that?
He did. He said Jayhawks.
You said
Kansas.
Okay.
Yes.
Who have they have? I mean, they beat Villanova, but have they really beat anyone?
I mean, Miami was a very good team too. I Kansas may have had the easier road and
They
path
beat everybody
to this
they
point,
played. technically the lowest seed. Technically, the lowest seed to ever possibly win this thing would be North Carolina.
Right.
Now, granted, they played, a 10 seed, then a 2 seed that was without their second leading scorer, so maybe they haven't faced the best and the brightest in this tournament, but what I've seen in terms of how they've been able to play, I mean, they crushed Villanova in that game. I mean, and it was on both sides of the ball. I think Kansas is extremely talented, and UNC's good too. I mean, they've got a lot of superstars too, so I want a similar type of game to Duke UNC in the national championship tonight. Just give me a good basketball game. That's what I want to see.
Go Tar Heels.
Yeah.
Go Kansas!
Before we completely get off this section of the podcast, so unless there's some weird miracle, looks like the Lakers are going to miss the postseason.
3 games left against the Suns. 4 games?
4 games. But the problem is they would then need the Spurs to lose
all 4.
3 of theirs, and they would have to win all 4 of theirs. I forget exactly what the deal is, but the Spurs have the tiebreaker.
Correct.
So if they tie,
Spurs
are in, and they're out.
Phoenix can end Lakers' playoff hopes with a win coming up, and obviously Phoenix setting a franchise record for wins, passing those Charles Barkley's teams of the past. I don't know, man.
It's the only time LeBron has ever been on a team where it's 16 games under 500, I believe.
Correct.
Where he's healthy and they're missing the playoffs, right?
Well, he didn't play last night because of the injury.
Yeah.
He did do a pretty cruel April Fool's joke where he's like, season's end, see you guys in the fall. I don't know if you saw that, but
no.
Probably a little distasteful for a team that's
okay.
far under 500.
Did anybody actually see any April Fool's jokes this year? Because the only thing that I saw was like everything in news feeds.
Did you see the Julian Edelman post?
Yeah.
Oh, he said breaking news going to Tampa. I thought that was actually pretty good.
But I've in the past, like me and my friends have made those jokes with each other about stuff, or like I get something from somebody trying to, get somebody else, quote unquote. And I did not see that this year.
I saw 2. One was because it was posted, I think, at midnight. And so when I saw the Twitter post, I was like, oh my God, that was from yesterday. Not realizing that it had been
already
a certain
turned.
amount of hours.
Yeah.
About trading Montgomery. And I'm like, that was our last piece of information that we had. Second, I saw an ad for what I thought was going to be a new Scooby-Doo movie.
And it's not.
Thank goodness.
And that is that.
Oh,
no,
come on,
like
what's
I'm talking
Scooby-Doo
like
do to you, man?
like the original, like Shaggy and all that. Like
the live action one.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the
Like
spooky,
Matt Lillard?
the Spooky Island or Scary. Anyways, I saw that and I got really excited and I was like, oh crap! I was like, never mind. This was
That's
posted
fake.
today. I have to double check on when it was posted because you still get things across your feed that was posted 2 days ago or whatever. So you see it, you get excited, and then you got to be like, oh damn.
But again, that's like all the stuff that I ran into. I didn't get any from like my friends or anything.
No, none from my friends. I got one really good one. It's really nerdy for the music side of stuff, but there's an audio mix engineer named Serban who does all of like the big pop records and Taylor Swift stuff. And he's notoriously like low key. There's only one photo of him in existence that they use on everything. He never talks about his process. He never talks about any of the stuff that he does. And the April Fool's joke was like, he's doing a master class that you could sign up for. And they were going to televise it on the internet. And all of the mixing engineers lost their minds.
And then it
You
wasn't
just
real.
totally
It wasn't
nerded
real.
out,
Yeah.
but that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to realize back in the day, we didn't have social media throwing it in our face for a week that April Fool's was coming up.
It was more text messages from people. I'd be
Yes.
like, wait, what?
It was more so we didn't.
Yeah.
We weren't reminded every second of every day for the previous 5 days and day of that it was April Fool's. Nowadays, people are like, oh yeah, it's April Fool's because thank you social media for reminding me.
What I thought was an April Fool's joke and wasn't was Tiger Woods practicing at Augusta for a potential debut at the Masters.
It'll be a game day decision.
It will be. Obviously having Tiger at Augusta is great for the sport, great for ratings, great for him. But is it? Testing yourself at your first event back after the car accident at Augusta? Certainly.
It's a course he knows well.
He does. Five-time
knows it.
Masters champ. So
He knows it very well, and they said that they were talking about it this morning, and they said that he when he was taking his practice swings and everything, and he was out, in the box, like all the video that they actually have of him, that he looked like he was just not really taking hard swings at it. And then they said after the cameras and the media and everyone left, he went out and walked 9. And
Just to test himself?
They said he was hitting it really well. So who knows,
That's crazy.
man?
I mean, just rewind not that long ago. We were talking about, will we ever see him again? And now he might play the Masters this weekend.
It's wild.
It's insane. Which would be awesome. By the way,
He might do it. They might just be like, "Hey, we will do whatever you need us to do."
Trust me, there's some inner workings back there because CBS would love to have
Yes,
Tiger in the Masters at least for the
absolutely.
first 2 days. But your odds-on favorites right now, just for the Masters, John Rahm is plus 1100, Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith, Dustin Johnson, and Scotty Scheffler. Jordan Spieth is plus 1800, as is Rory McIlroy. Remember, Spieth pretty good at Augusta across his career. Has that one Masters win in 2015, but
he
has
hasn't
never
been
missed
much
a cut.
since.
Has
Yeah.
never missed a cut at Augusta. If you want a long shot who isn't being talked about right now,
He hasn't really been in it.
he has never missed a cut. He's
Several
got
years.
7 top 25 finishes, I believe.
But his name hasn't
He's
been.
never missed a cut. Well, 25th is not going to win you plus 1800.
It's not, but has made all 8 cuts, 7 top 25 finishes, 5 top 3 finishes, and won the 2015 Masters. I'm just saying, if you want somebody who knows this
2015,
course
we're in
well.
2022.
Yeah.
2022.
All right,
I get it. He's young, but he had a good year, and apparently he's just fallen off the popular band. You know what I mean? So
I was waiting for you to say Cliff. I was waiting for Cliff, and I got something else.
I was going to say bandwagon. I just never finished it.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I like John Rahm. I mean, he's always going to be
Just 'cause he
in
smashes the
contention.
ball?
And, yeah, well, and that's the other thing is because he can hit the ball really, really well. All right, let's go to music.
Music.
I was frantically scrolling through my phone trying to figure out exactly where it is on the chart today, and I don't think I've gotten the chart yet. So, but again, at the end of a bar, just crushing. Thank you guys. I will continue to say that every single week. I appreciate it more than you know. And I get to sing it at the end of a bar twice this coming week down in the great state of Texas. So I'm very
Billy
much
Bob's.
looking forward to that.
Well, last week you couldn't say where it was at either because you didn't get your chart yet. So what was it at last week?
I think it jumped a couple spots.
Yeah, it was like 25, 26,
Gotcha.
depending on which chart you were looking at. So, I mean, it's doing really, really well. I know Mitchell's excited. I was talking with him about it the other day. But yeah, everything's going great. We'll have some new music updates soon.
You
Question
say
mark?
that so randomly all the
Nah, I
time, and we're
know.
like, when though?
I just turned in some masters on some stuff. So that it is not just vague way out there in the middle distance. It's actually something that we're working on that I think is going to be really cool for everybody. So the minute I get to start teasing some stuff, even though it'll probably get removed later on, we'll do it anyway.
We'll do it anyway. That's okay. That's okay.
That's why you got to stay up to date.
Yeah, you got to get to it as soon as we drop it every week.
I'm not refraining you to go look at old episodes, but
There's
stay
a
up to
couple that
date, and you may not miss out on the new music.
Yeah, if anybody goes back, if this is anyone's first time listening to this podcast and you go back to the beginning of when we were doing it, which, by the way, if you guys haven't done that recently, I went back and watched or listened to the first episode.
It's a different.
It's very different.
It's different.
It's very different.
We've gotten into a groove since then.
Yeah, we were all like very excited, but also rambled a lot more in places.
Correct.
Before we really tuned all this
Speak
up.
for yourself. I still ramble a lot more in places.
Yeah, but I think like now when we do it, it's us being stupid.
Oh, you mean that's
Like,
not planned?
picking on each other. It's one of those things where if you go back and listen to something that's really old and you notice there's a blank spot in it, it is because we teased something that was on the record, and then once the record dropped, they pull that part out.
The
They
legal
remove.
team goes in and mutes that for us.
Which, by the way, sounds so backwards because it is my music, but it evidently happens to everybody.
It does.
Yep.
Everybody.
But hey, kudos to anyone trying to illegally use his music.
Well,
We're on to you. We'll find you.
we
We'll
got
meet
you. Yeah. So that's going to be awesome because I've got Friday and Saturday back to back, and I don't know the last time that I played 2 nights somewhere, much less in Fort Worth. So that they're going to be awesome crowds and a lot of fun, and obviously that building is got a lot of music history in it. So
You've been down there in that area for a long time. Do you have a favorite food spot that you have to hit in
That's a good question.
DFW?
well, I mean this goes back to the living in Texas and just being like you have to go to Whataburger while you're there.
Oh.
But now there's one here, and the line literally
Goes to Texas right now.
Yeah, every time you look at it online, they have like kind of a setup right outside Nashville where you can see like how long the wait is and like where the traffic goes to, and it's always just absolutely obnoxious.
Do you have a favorite Texas barbecue place? Because we've had the debate over Kansas City versus Texas barbecue, but do you have a favorite?
So here's my thing: if you're talking specifically Texas barbecue, you're probably going to Austin. You're going to like Franklin's and stuff like that. So
I love Cooper's, which is so good down there.
Shout out to Babes. It is a fried chicken place that my family runs.
yes, which I'm going to
that
go
he
check out.
oversees. So it's like family style sides and lots of fried chicken and catfish. So it's also delicious.
You know what? I would like to follow up with that. Shout out to Babes.
Ryan loves Babes.
I'm a big fan of Babes, so shout out to you, Babes.
Yeah, when the first time she brought it up, she goes, "Yeah, my family runs this place called Babes," and I was just like, I just kind of cocked my head. She's like,
What do they serve there?
It's a food place.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so my uncle oversees multiple of the restaurants. So I was like, because they live right outside of Fort Worth. I was like, you're going to have to go. That's really good.
You've been to Franklin Barbecue before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Whoa. How do we rate it? Okay, because you are a huge Kansas City barbecue aficionado.
yeah, but
so.
their thing at Franklin Barbecue is specifically like their brisket is
just the brisket.
Yeah.
Love me some good brisket.
As I've stated previously, while I believe that Kansas City ranks number 1, hands down, Texas gets a pass for me. Texas knows what they're doing. Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Memphis?
That's not in Texas.
No,
no.
I'm just asking.
Oh, no. Memphis is... No, I don't want to upset our fans in Memphis, so I'm not going to say it how I was going to
Just
say
like
it. Just
each
then.
one of you, other than me, is trying to upset a fan base
Yeah,
of something.
I don't-
this
I
week.
don't- I like the Grizzlies. Go Grizzlies.
Yeah.
No
I
barbecue.
mean, I got to see John Morant play
Yeah.
against the Lakers, but not this year. All right. Well, I'll have to get back to you. I also don't want to then say places that I'm going in advance.
People just
Yeah,
sit
when
there
you
and they're
asked
like,
me that question,
yeah,
if you're
that's a good
wondering why
point.
I looked at you and paused.
I was just curious what
That's
your
a fair
favorite
place.
was. I didn't say, are you going to be there on Friday at 2 p.m., you know?
And I may be going to fish while I'm down there, which is kind of cool.
Is that a restaurant or?
No, like actually fish, because Tad Prescott, Dak's brother, hit me up. Was like, "What are you doing the second day, like in the morning?" So I might be able to get out there a little bit outside of town and do some fishing while I'm in Texas.
Love that.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, are you prepared
Oh,
with
I'm
your
prepared.
what are you listening
I'm
to?
very prepared. We filibustered enough. I had time to look
Love
it up.
it.
We are ready to roll. So while you are going to Texas this week, I am going to be down in the hometown on Fort Lauderdale Beach for Tortuga, which is one of my favorite festivals every single year. Mm-hmm. Very excited for that. It's going to be a great lineup. This isn't country, though, technically, for one of the artists that I'm excited to see. Nelly will be playing at Tortuga.
I was like, where is this going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Cornell, let's go.
Nelly will be playing at Tortuga, and so Country Grammar Hot is my song this week. Country Grammar by Nelly.
Josh, what do you got?
So I have a really cool work thing. So I am in the middle of I am helping re-record all of Sam Hunt's backing tracks for his live show.
Nice. Well done.
All right.
Which is a large. So for those of you that don't know how this goes, there are supplementary loops and things that sometimes bands play with. Chris, you do not, because you have a whole bunch of killer musicians on your stage, and I think he just uses drum pads for one loop for "I'm Coming Over," and I think that's it, right?
Monty built that himself. We try to not ever do that. Like all the harmonies, all the stuff that you hear is live.
Yeah. So not all artists do that.
By the way,
And
to
that's
each
totally-
their own.
yeah,
They're
that's
it's
totally
cool
fine.
both ways.
But what happens is if you use the tracks from your record and play them live, you have to then pay the union every single time you play a show.
And it's scale.
And it's scale, and it gets very expensive very quickly.
There were. I'm not gonna call anyone out by name, but there was a couple of incidents of that years back where it was like, I think one of them was like 6 figures that they ended up having.
There was one that I assisted with some of the re-record, and the number I heard was $400,000.
Wow.
They had to pay. Yikes. So anyway, I've been hired to help redo all of these songs. 24 songs. I've got 5 weeks to do it. So my song
Is a Sam Hunt song?
Is a Sam Hunt song. Man, I just forget how good Cop Car is. That's just a great song.
Cop Car's great.
A lot of people think, by the way, because Keith Urban had done that song, that he was the one behind it. Sam Hunt actually wrote that song. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a different one as well, since I went pretty traditional last week, and I'm gonna go with "Sabotage" about the Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, it was randomly playing somewhere the other day, and I was like, yeah, I haven't listened to this song in a long time. So it's been on repeat quite a bit. So I'm really sorry if a car drove by in Nashville just blaring that song, it would most likely be. What about you? Everybody's like, what?
I'm definitely nowhere near any of y'all this week. And it's not even a bad song. It actually came across my music when I was working out, and the first word was like, I'm tired. And I'm like, God, yeah, I'm working out and I'm really tired. But it's actually a song from Euphoria, and I've never watched that show. So sorry for all of you crazy Euphoria fans.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show either.
But the song is called I'm Tired, and it's with Labyrinth and Zendaya. And it's a song of not very many word changes, but it's still like a really good song. Does that make sense?
There's
I'm
not
tired.
a lot of lyrics.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
There's
I'm tired.
There's lyrics,
Are you
but
tired?
there's only like very like small word changes. When it comes to like the verses versus the chorus, and it's just the music behind it's really like strong, and it's.
All right, I have a dumb
I
question.
gotta sneeze.
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Wait.
here it is. Go.
Do it.
Wait.
Into the mic. Into the mic.
No, it
Go.
went away.
Do
It
it.
went
Do
away.
it.
I'm sorry.
It went away.
Got scared.
Oh, it's because I called it out.
It got stage fright. Yeah. So, and I'm asking this as like a serious question because depending on the artist, sometimes they pronounce their name weird. Is this Labyrinth?
It might be labyrinth. I call it labyrinth. Every time I see that word, I say labyrinth. I know that
Tomato,
might-
tomato, right?
Yeah, it might be labyrinth.
Well,
Tomato, tomato. Yeah.
but I mean, again, like I don't know that.
Either
who that
way,
is, so that it could be pronounced that way. So
but yeah. I
Christopher,
know how to say
Christopher. Tomato, tomato.
Zendaya. I know that I got that one.
Zendaya. I don't.
I don't know. Anyway,
But who knows?
those are the songs. Don't forget that is a entire playlist that you can go check out.
One thing before we move on, I was a little upset when I watched the Grammys last night that nobody slapped anyone. I was genuinely upset. I was waiting for the moment to
Someone
watch a
broke
slap.
their
and it didn't
Grammy award. I saw they were trying to hold them and they dropped it and it broke.
Well, and those aren't the ones you get anyway. Your award gets shipped later. So anytime you see somebody
So are they
holding one,
plastic?
no,
I was wondering
they're
about that.
real.
Like, do they
They're
go out to
real.
the after party, like just drinking out of their little Grammy or something?
I mean,
You can.
I would if I won one. The minute that thing came in, we go drink out of it.
Whoever Olivia
So-
Rodrigo.
Oh, you've heard
Yeah.
her music before. She crushed it yesterday.
Yeah, she won and then dropped her Grammy on the red carpet and it broke. But I guess it doesn't matter because they don't tell you that those aren't the actual awards that
No,
you
she's
get.
going to win plenty more, so she'll
and
be
you
all right.
and you have to pay for them.
Oh, do you really?
Oh
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And if you lose it, they won't say you can't go buy another one. That's it. It's just one.
Well, how do you lose an award?
You know what? There's been enough stories about people doing it. I guess they just won enough Grammys. They were like, this is just a.
So let me get this straight. They pick you to win an award.
Yes.
Then they choose you to win an award, but they go, you owe us money.
Yes.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Stop it, people. That's not right.
It's been going on for years.
All right. Well, it's wrong.
the
How
same-
much is a Grammy? Like, how much do you pay for those awards?
I haven't won one, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
I feel like I need to Google this.
Oh, man.
It was interesting to watch.
Okay.
Billie Eilish's performance was interesting for sure. It was good though.
What does that mean?
It was. I mean, she did it in like it was the set was like a room that was flipped upside down, and she was performing inside of what looked like a flooded room with the floor.
Was
And
it
then-
cool?
It was cool. It was just
All right.
it was different. It was like it was unique. And then she went up to the top, and there was this really cool video board behind him that it looked like it was raining on them. So it was a good performance. I was just like, I was watching, and I'm like, is the room upside down? Like the couch was on the ceiling, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then they zoom out, and she's wading in water while singing. And I was like, this is intense,
All right.
interesting for sure.
Artist.
Artiste.
Okay. I don't know if this is accurate, but according to this, it says $1,260.
No, it's more than that.
What is this, by the way? You have to say our friends, according to our friends at.
I don't know. Google?
Okay, that's
Yeah,
proficient.
I think it's more than that. But anyway,
Still.
yeah.
No.
I thought you knew that. I thought that was like
Who
common
knows
knowledge.
that stuff?
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're
Just-
choosing you to win the award, but they're like, wait, in order to get the award, you got to pay.
Same thing. Same thing with plaques. You got to buy them.
So these things on the wall that we
Yeah.
buy us?
I paid for all these.
Yeah.
They're really pretty.
They're
I'm really
awesome.
glad
I'd
you
be
paid
like,
for them.
take it back.
Don't.
Nope.
Don't.
Nope. Bear button.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do the hot take.
Hot take.
All right. Courtesy of the interwebs, TikTok, Reels, all that stuff. This is the debate. Wheels versus doors. Have you heard about this?
No.
I feel like we talked about this offline.
Have you heard about this?
Well, I know the debate going on, yes.
The debate is, what are there more of in the world, wheels or doors? And it can go a lot of ways.
How are we ever going to land on an answer?
Well, okay, so that's, again, everybody's using like different metrics to figure this out. But I have a very interesting reason why I think it is wheels. All right?
Oh my God, people are really Googling this.
Yeah, oh no, it's a thing. This is the thing, man.
Wow.
So here's why I think it's wheels. And I'm not the guy that's like, well, a door handle is a knob and that's sort of a wheel. Like, no. But you know who the most wheels are made by?
UPS?
No. No. Do you know who makes the most actual wheels? Which it doesn't have to be a certain size.
Doesn't have to be like a car wheel.
Oh, I bet it's like,
It's Lego.
yeah.
But usually Lego has doors too.
They do, but they make more wheels.
But that's just like,
On top of that, on a car, everybody argues, well, there's 4 doors on a car. There's 4 wheels. Well, there's no doors on a motorcycle. A lot of side-by-sides don't have doors.
A lot of scooters don't have doors.
And then you have to think, you get like really dig down deep into this, and you get into what is like underneath the hood of a car. There's a flywheel. There's other wheels on a car.
does
than
that count though?
It's called a wheel. Yeah.
But that's not like a wheel.
What?
It's a wheel.
All right. Every horse-drawn carriage. Are there doors on that?
Not all of them.
Some of them.
But not all of them.
You know how many
Well, there's
bathroom doors there are? You know how many
I get
dollhouse doors or those little toy cars with 4 wheels doors? You know how many
They have wheels,
house
though.
Look,
doors?
but again, I'm
But
just telling
still.
you that my pick on this is wheels, and I haven't been able to see anything. And yes, there's no wheels in this building, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doors.
How many doors on the
But-
Sears Tower?
Oh, lots of doors.
There's lots of doors, but there's wheels in there too.
I think the boom of inline skating in the 90s probably skewed this towards wheels quite a bit, because for every
Yep.
human being, they had 8.
That's true. That is also
But
true.
what if they don't? But I guarantee those are gone right now.
No, they still exist.
They still exist.
Not as many as there was.
You're on.
There
you're
is
on, you're
no.
under-
There is no skating boom right
All
now.
right,
You only-
there's no doors on a bike.
You only heard about the boom of skating. I lived through it.
So,
Yeah.
so we're taking
did I.
aside whether we think there's more doors or wheels. Is that what
Yes.
we're doing here? Okay.
Yes.
So, according to our friends at GetJerry.com, I don't know who that is or who Jerry is or why Jerry is the authority on this.
Is it? Okay.
Get Jerry.
Okay.
Springer, get Jerry Springer.
Get Jerry.
Somebody get Jerry Springer.
Get Jerry says the bottom line. We're nowhere near an exact estimate of the total number of wheels in the world, but it doesn't matter. Already, we've identified well over a possible 37 billion wheels in the world, which is way more than the number of doors. Get Jerry, apparently, the authority on the wheels versus doors debate.
Just in this room alone, we have a 20-to-1 wheel. Oh no, 20-to-2 wheel to door ratio.
What about in the parking lot?
What do we? Hang on. Wait. What are we?
Are you
counting
talking
this?
about
What are we counting?
chairs?
What are we counting? The chairs that we're sitting on.
Five per chair. Four chairs.
Those are wheels.
That's 20-to-2.
Ooh.
Just this room.
Are we talking fictionally, like when one door closes, another one opens?
You stole my joke. I was going to do that
Oh
at
my
the end.
God!
Thank
Both
you!
of you. No,
Stole my
stop
joke.
it. Get out of here with that. Oh man! All right, but I just want to put it to a vote with everybody out there. It's like, what do you got? I got wheels.
I'm going with wheels because Get Jerry seems to be the authority on this. So
Wheels.
I think it's wheels.
Screw it, I'm going doors.
Okay.
well,
You know how many doors
somebody had
I've
to be
closed?
contrarian.
Some-
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody-
I've seriously contemplated doors because, again, most people, there's doors to everything. Again, in little individual bathroom stalls, cabinet doors, fridge doors, all the damn doors there are. There's so many.
Somebody had to close the door on this debate, so I appreciate you doing that, though.
All right, you guys, you know what to do. Make sure you go out there on the poll and vote for wheels or doors, and we'll figure out what's going on next week. As always, this has been The Quad with Chris Young. I'm Chris from Haley, Josh, and Ryan. We love you guys. Thank you again for watching, listening. Rate, review, tell your friends.